The second week of Donald Trump's presidential term looked like it posed an existential threat to an essential Kentucky industry, bourbon. No action posed a bigger challenge to Kentucky businesses than Trump's announcement of 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada. Both countries promised they would enact their own tariffs on U.S. products if the president went through with his plan. Fortunately for the $9 billion Kentucky industry, responsible for 23,000 jobs, the threat was fleeting. Trump decided to pause the tariffs for a month on February 3rd as both Canada and Mexico agreed to enhance border security efforts, largely agreeing to do things their governments were already planning on doing or already actively involved with. Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, said the tariffs will hurt not just Kentuckians but all Americans, whether they start in 1 month or 1 year, while U.S. Representative Andy Barr, a Republican representing the Lexington area in Congress, conveyed support for the president's approach. Additionally, if the trade climate doesn't shift soon, bourbon makers could be looking at twice the hit. The European Union is set to implement a 50% tariff on American whiskey in March if disputes over steel and aluminum are not resolved. 38 states export American whiskey. Tennessee, home to Brown-Forman's Jack Daniels, exports the most, while Kentucky, home to most major bourbon brands, ranks second. A large chunk of those sales go overseas, and 50% of overseas sales go to the European Union. Bluegrass bourbon companies have largely rebounded since 2018, when tariffs issued by Trump during his first term wreaked havoc on the industry. Retaliatory tariffs by the European Union cut exports by 25%, sales plunged by $200 million, and prices rose for some consumers. Those tariffs were suspended in 2021 under former President Joe Biden, and sales of American whiskey bourbon soared again. By 2023, they reached $1.4 billion. Aside from bourbon, tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports, which Trump put into effect February 11th, could leave Kentucky's automakers in the crossfire of a resulting trade war between the U.S. and Canada, which is the Bluegrass state's top supplier of aluminum and a major buyer of its finished motor vehicles. Aluminum and motor vehicle parts numbered among Kentucky's top 2 Canadian imports in 2024, with the state paying more than $2.6 billion across both categories. As a reminder, the way to think about a tariff is as a tax placed on goods imported into a country. Initially, the company or entity importing the product, not the country or company of origin, pays for the tariff. In the case of the U.S., the Treasury pockets the money. Often, the easiest choice for companies to make is to simply pass the tariff cost along to the consumer in the form of higher prices. I'm Andrew Henderson with the Lexington Herald Leader. Thanks for watching.